Because what the heck does gratitude have to do with transforming your life? Everything. First, I'm going to start by letting you know what gratitude is. It's pretty easy. Gratitude is simply that state of being thankful for things. In our lives, things can be divided into pretty much two categories. We have the positive things and we have the negative things. We have the good things, we have the bad things. And it's really easy to be grateful for the positive things in our lives. We get married, we have a baby, we get a raise at our job, even having our morning cup of coffee. It's easy to be grateful for things like that. But those negative things, it's not so easy to be grateful for. But it's necessary. Being grateful for the negative is necessary. And one way to overcome the difficulty of being grateful for negative things is to shift our perceptions, to think of things not as positive versus negative or good versus bad, but instead to think of things as blessings or lessons. It's really easy to see why the good things in our lives are blessings. But in some ways it can be easy to see why the bad things are lessons, but to be grateful for those bad things? Oh, come on, really? Seriously? But in order for true transformation to take hold in our lives, we do have to learn to be grateful for those lessons. Because if we're not grateful for those lessons, if we're not grateful for the opportunity to learn those lessons, we're going to have to learn them over and over and over again and again and again. And believe me, that sucks. I'm going through it right now, particularly with the lesson on forgiveness. I got a little bit cocky with the universe. I thought I'd learned that lesson already. I thought I was pretty darn good at being a forgiving person. In fact, a lot of people around me thought that I was too forgiving. I forgave things that I shouldn't forgive. And I was really good at walking the walk, talking the talk. I acted as if I was forgiving. I thought I was forgiving. To all around me, it looked like I was a very forgiving person, but really, it was all superficial forgiveness. And what was really going on was that I was burying the pain and I was burying the resentment. And as with anything that gets buried, eventually it bubbles up to the surface and it gets ugly. It gets real ugly when pain and resentment bubbles up. And so the universe, in its infinite wisdom, decided I needed a refresher course on forgiveness. And along with that refresher course on forgiveness, I'm also going through lessons on trust and betrayal, on boundaries and limits, and on making really, really hard decisions. But as I go through these lessons in life, I'm still maintaining my attitude of gratitude. Granted, it sucks, it's painful, it's hard, it hurts like hell. But I'm learning more about myself through the process, and so I am grateful for that chance to learn about myself. I am even further transforming my life and clarifying my vision for my future. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to do that. Because without this particular lesson on forgiveness, and without all the lessons all of the other bad things in my life have taught me, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And if you think of things that way, if you look back at it and say, every single thing, good and bad in my life, has brought me to this moment, pretty amazing things happens. You start to let go of the pain of the past. You start to let go of the hurt, and you say, oh my God, if she hadn't done that to me, then this wouldn't have happened. Or if he hadn't done that, then this wouldn't have happened. So, what now does gratitude have to do with our intuition? Again, everything. I want you to think of your life like a journey. It's a path. In my coaching process, I will help a person to identify their life path. And their life path is everything they've been through up until this moment and everything they're going to go to for the future. It's a journey. It's that walk we walk. And there are potholes and there are bumps in the road. There are twists and there are turns. There are this fork this way and this intersection here. And our intuition is like our GPS for our life path. If we ignore our GPS, we're going to get lost. And it's just not going to work anymore. Ignoring our intuition is like unplugging our GPS and it just quits working. Gratitude is like plugging the GPS back in and giving it a full charge. When we are grateful for the lessons, it clears up our intuition. It brings us more into tune with our life path and where we're going. So it's important to be grateful for those warnings. And just like GPS, we can't anticipate everything. Sometimes you're driving along and GPS doesn't warn you about the accident that's ahead of you that's causing the traffic jam and making you have to completely reroute. But as soon as you make that turn off and GPS says wrong turn, rerouting, your intuition does the same thing. It won't warn you entirely about what's going to happen. But when something unexpected does happen, if you listen carefully, your intuition tells you how to reroute, how to get around it all over again. And that's, again, where gratitude comes into play. It's like recharging your GPS. You have to start with gratitude. You have to be grateful for the path that you were walking, good or bad. So I would like to invite you to join me on a Cultivate an Attitude of Gratitude 30-day challenge starting July 1st. Visit transformationalintuition.com or gwenmontgomery.com to sign up for it. You will receive a beautiful free printable gratitude journal, as well as daily gratitude emails and access to the private Facebook gratitude group to share what you're grateful for, both your blessings and your lessons, to get some perspective for others to help you see how to be grateful for your lessons, as well as to give support to others who are walking their own life path and need your support now too. This is Gwen from transformationalintuition.com. So glad to share my lessons with you, and I will see you next week.